How long have you lived in Pembroke?
Since 1996.
Has the population changed since you've been here, and how?
I would say yes. I would say that it has gotten more gentrified because there are more professionals that have moved here.
Okay. You were around for the split between Silver Lake and Pembroke. What was that like, and what were your first thoughts on it?
Well, at the time, we did not have children yet. But my first thought was that our school system, the Pembroke school system, would benefit from the split because it would be a smaller school system and it would allow the administration to focus on a fewer number of students and would allow the funding from the state to be focused on Pembroke as opposed to being spread out over a very large number of students in Silver Lake, which at the time was very crowded.
Wow. How do you think Pembroke would be different if Silver Lake were still apart or together?
I think it would be a complete nightmare, and I don't think that our kids would be receiving the same quality education that they're getting in the Pembroke Public Schools today, which is great. I have 3 kids in the Pembroke Public Schools, and I'm very happy with the education they're receiving. And I think that if we were still with Silver Lake, we would be completely cramped for space. It would be completely overcrowded because it was at the time of the split, and there would be scarce resources to do anything at all extra. And they're scarce enough as it is now, but it would be even worse.
All right. Has anything eventful happened in Pembroke since you've been here?
Yes, they redeveloped the little town center area where the Stop and Shop is, so that strip mall there has gotten a major facelift and better shops in it. And they also built that over 55 housing, which wasn't there before either.
Okay. And finally, is there anything interesting about Pembroke that is only known to its residents?
I would say the ponds, that's an interesting thing, that there are so many ponds in Pembroke, and I don't think that everybody would think about Pembroke as being a place with so many ponds. But the ponds are big, some of them are the size of what you might think of as lakes, but that I think is something interesting that most people don't know about Pembroke.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay.
How long have you lived in Pembroke?
I've lived here 20 years.
Okay. And how has the population changed since you've been here?
Well, when we first moved here, there were probably about 13,000 residents. I think now there are close to 17,000. And it was noticeable because when we would drive home from work, pretty much around Route 18 in Weymouth, all the cars would disappear except for a handful of cars heading down to exit 12.
Okay. And you were around for the split between Silver Lake and Pembroke. What was that like, and what were your first thoughts on it?
We were definitely around at that time. My first thoughts were we didn't have any kids, and I wasn't really familiar with the regional school system other than it had a number of towns that were part of it. I thought it was going to be a good thing, simply because as they separated, I thought that the teachers would be invigorated and really want to set up a program that would benefit the kids.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think Pembroke would be different if it were still a part of that Silver Lake region?
I think the class sizes would be much larger, and the soccer team probably would be a little bit better.
Okay. Now, has anything eventful happened in Pembroke since you've been here?
The one thing that I remember was the restaurant bar used to be called Jose's, or Jose's, H-O-S-E-Y. There was a murder that happened outside that bar.
Oh, wow.
It is now, what's it? The Lucky Dog.
Okay.
And Jose's closed down. Josie's, I think it was Josie's. It closed down. I don't know what happened to the owner. I don't know what happened to the guy that was killed. but I definitely do remember that scene.
Wow. Okay. And is there anything interesting about Pembroke that is only known to its residents?
I would have to say the animal corral that's in front of the city hall, or town hall.
Okay.
That is a stone corral that dates back hundreds of years. Apparently when animals got lost that were owned by a farmer, a cow, a sheep, a pig,
Okay.
if they found them, they'd put them in that center corral and they'd come get them whenever they could.
Oh wow. Okay. Now, thank you.
You're welcome.